Can you guys shut the fuck up and let me... 2 fucking types of potato chips.
Ew.
It's what?
What happened?
What just happened?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Takeaway after being on a 10-hour live stream of the Whatever podcast with Brian Atlas. Ladies, don't do it. You're not going to get anything positive out of it. Brian is an interesting character. I do say this with love because I am a psychotherapist. This guy is nothing like his persona in front of the camera. He presents very, very differently when the camera is not rolling. And there's a reason why he's single. Well, there's many reasons why he's single. He's anxious, he's awkward, he's rude, he's impatient. And, I really believe as a therapist and law of attraction coach, how you do anything is how you do everything. The fact that he gets women to come to his studio in Santa Barbara, doesn't pay them anything, expects them to be there 10 plus hours with their own accommodations. In the meantime, we're seeing that he makes on average $20,000 an episode with live donations. That doesn't even include advertising. And he doesn't tag you. He doesn't do anything to show gratitude other than using you. Now, again, you're going to say to me, well, why did you go on the show? The truth is I had never seen the show before. I had saw some clips here or there. I knew that Charlie went on it. Michael Knowles went on it. So he has conservatives that I respect who've been on the show. So I thought, well, I'll be that voice of reason. But then when I got there, it was so, I just was like, Dorothy is not in Kansas anymore. And, women that I would never, ever ordinarily meet on the street, actually, I grew quite fond of them because when you're spending 10 hours with people, you really get to know them. And, all of them have great qualities about them. And it was almost like we were trauma bonded by the end of the episode with Brian. He was ridiculous. I mean, his whole bit giving, all the girls popsicles. And, of course I didn't take. He's ridiculous. And, I struck a nerve when I called him out on this. You'll see in the clip that I'm going to play, he got really mad when I said after 8 hours, you don't even offer us any real food. And he said, and I quote, "What are you talking about? There's 2 fucking kinds of chips." So he goes on and on about how women are feminists and they don't deserve to be cherished. But he's a douche and he's never going to attract what he wants. And in this clip that I'm going to show you out of that 10 hours, I actually do manage to share some sound dating advice that of course he ignores, but all the women actually agreed with. So if you're interested, the clip will follow. But really, ladies, you're not going to gain anything from going on this show. He's going to exploit you. He's not going to tag you. He's not going to pay you. He's barely going to even feed you. This is just for his personal gain. There's nothing good that comes out of a show like this other than yuckiness amplifying the problems between the real problem of men and women choosing to stay single today at record numbers. That is scary, and that does affect the future of our relationships, of our children's relationships. It shapes the next generation in America. This does nothing to help that whatsoever. Even when there's sound advice given, it's ignored and poo-pooed. And but it was an experience. I'm glad I still had it. But again, ladies, it's really not worth it. And anybody who watches this show, watch better quality content because you don't want to stay stuck and angry. And this show makes you stuck and angry.
Not really wired for, you're not looking for wives.
Whoa.
You're not looking for wives.
Okay.
You're not looking for something. You are looking for beauty.
Brian doesn't want to get married.
If you want to shoot your shot, you have a popular podcast, and there's a lot more girls interested in you because of it.
Hold on. I'm going to reject your premise there. How did you arrive at those conclusions? How did you arrive?
Because that's all you talk about. You didn't ask us about.
Hold on.
You're rating us. Everything to you is superficial.
But you wouldn't be able to map that onto despite this being a segment, Brian, that you do on the show, that wouldn't be evidence of it being the only thing I care about. Trust me. So I have a girlfriend application that if a woman DMs me, and I get a lot of DMs, let me tell you, if she DMs me, I have a 130 question girlfriend application, and like none of them have to do with the looks.
Yeah.
It's like all personality values.
Well,
Can I
one day, this is proprietary. One day I'll reveal it.
So what I find attractive in men
Yes. Tell me.
is men who actually are confident in pursuing. The
Okay.
fact that you are fine with having women come to you and you've created
Oh boy,
a
okay.
screening process.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an inflation of self. It's not attractive. You're totally fine taking money from women. I think a lot of women.
As a joke on the show.
I don't
but-
know if it's a joke. I mean, none of us are being paid. We're not even offered a meal after 8 hours. I think you could be a little bit more generous.
Hold on. Whoa, wait.
There was food.
Now,
There's
hold on.
chips.
By the way, there's actually pizza.
And trail mix.
Wait, hold on.
Trail mix?
Whoa,
I'm
whoa, whoa,
sorry.
whoa, whoa,
You
hold
see,
on.
there's pizza.
I'm
Wait,
just
wait.
Let him
saying.
talk.
The first thing I'm going to address is my lack of generosity.
Yes.
So there's two kinds of potato chips. There's
For 10 people.
There's can you guys
cookies.
shut the fuck up and let me? Two fucking types of potato chips. There's fucking what are the Mexican chips called? Tortilla chips. There's fucking salsa. There's muffins, banana bread muffins. We have
muffins,
trail
girls.
mix. We have chocolate. We have what else is? We got other snacks.
You've got an
And then
assortment.
there's pizza in the refrigerator. Wow. And there's
Put it in the
applesauce.
oven.
So this idea that I'm not fucking generous, that's ridiculous. Secondly, what's the other thing? The women wanting women to pay me money. I do that as a comedic bit on the show. If I'm dating a girl, look, if a girl genuinely wants to simp for me and give me money, I wouldn't refuse it. If they want to send me money, who am I to say no? So for 34 years of my life, I was the guy. Like, it was not girls coming to me for 34. The fuck?
You was trolling at the San Bernardino Walmart.
Come on.
Like,
As you should.
women will do very token initiative. There was a dating app which recently changed called Bumble, where women had to send the first message, and you might object to that. Oh, that's
No,
what happened
I
on
was
Bumble.
on Bumble when I was
what
single.
happened on Bumble is it's this idea that women are going to be the pursuers and make the first move. Well, it was like quite
No, it wasn't
literally
Meet the Pursuers. It was like dropping a handkerchief. And Bumble, the man still can initiate
but the
after
idea here, well, right, but the idea with Bumble was for it to be like women to have a bit less of a
control.
passive, a passivity when it comes to dating. But what ended up happening on this dating app is women would literally open with hi and then immediately shuck the conversational burden back onto the man. So look, I've had the
Okay.
experience on
like
the
dropping
dating.
a
I've had the
handkerchief.
experience on the
Exactly.
dating apps. What I would say is that you gotta this is not the most optically friendly term, but you should take advantage of the perks that you have of your positive traits. Why would you want to diminish, like, I don't know, if you're like a really beautiful woman, why would you like intentionally make yourself all disheveled? Like I'm blaming. And one of the frustrations I think a lot of guys have when it comes to dating, because women, not all women, but a lot of women, when you're dating them, especially if you meet them on a dating app, they're dating like 5 other dudes. And I'm more interested, like, I'm not interested in one night stand. I'm not interested in just fucking a girl once, twice, 3 times. I'm intentional with dating. And so that's frustrating for a guy like me who's not really trying to play any games, who wants a relationship, who wants a girlfriend. And I'm like going out with girls who got rosters and they're fucking 1 guy here, 2 guys here, and they're dating multiple dudes. And so it can be frustrating to deal with women who are entertaining options when you're like guy number 3, or you're like low on the totem pole of like where her interest level lies. And you are like, she's on the fence about you. Whereas if a girl DMs me, that's very high interest level. I don't want to deal with a fence sitter woman. I want to deal with a woman who has high levels of interest in me.
I agree with that.
She's not going to play games with me, hopefully. I'm not going to play games with her
Yeah.
because I'm going to match that sort of
Yeah.
energy. So I actually think it's a better dynamic. Now, not most men don't have fucking podcasts. They're not, they don't have like clout on social media or whatever. Most men can't operate like that. But
I think it's a mess for both sides. I think men and women are often dating multiple people at once. It's really hard to take each other seriously. When a guy writes to a girl and actually reads what she writes in her profile, doesn't just like her picture, a girl also pays attention to that.
Not
because
really.
Yes, we
yes,
do.
they do.
Yes,
Yes, they
we do.
do.
Wait,
And that
No,
separates
let me
them.
explain it. Let me explain it. So if the guy's attractive, if the guy is like not meeting her threshold of what she deems attractive, I don't care
Okay.
how witty your opening message is. I don't care if it's like you're literally Shakespeare 200 IQ witty comment to her stupid prompt.
Serrano.
She is fucking immediately swiping.
As
oh,
a
that's
woman
funny.
who
Not
can
interested.
speak to this, first of all, women have a lot more levels of attraction than men. Yes, men, it's very
Women
black
are
and white for them. But with
Women
women,
are harsher.
Okay,
Women are harsher.
no, women can. Yes, they could be, and that's not the right match because it's superficial people attracting superficial. But the women who
women.
are serious about relationships, it's not going to be just looks for them. They're going to pay attention to what the guy writes. They're going to pay attention to what the guy wears. Is he thirsty? Is he flexing at a gym, or is he wearing a suit? All these things we pay attention to.
For sure.
Thank you.
true.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank
It's
you.
true.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but-
Men have become so lazy. They don't take risks. They don't come up to women. They do rely on the apps to do all the work. And they do want to be pursued by women on the apps. But they have to also bring that energy to the apps. And the other thing, too, men like beta men, sorry if that
Say it.
term affects you, they like to stay on the apps. A real man goes from apps to texting to let's meet within the week. The problem is people stay on the apps because it's safer. They
Easy.
build up these ideal perceptions of these men, and women do it too. And then when they meet, it's such a disappointment.
They don't even
the
have nothing to
point
talk
of
about.
dating online is to go quickly offline,
Can I-
not to go and be
Okay.
stuck.
But so, look, you have to understand, I guess my contention here is you were trying to allude to, Brian, even though all these women are DMing you, this time
Okay, but what I want to say, Brian, what I want you to understand
Yep.
is that high value women don't want to be seen by men by only their looks. They know they're beautiful. So when a man takes
okay.
the time to read something they've wrote or learn about them, that is a very attractive quality.
Ew.
It's what?
What happened?
What
Your
just
face.
happened?
a little bit, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sort of sarcastically, though. Continue.
Okay, well, I'm sorry this is hard for you to hear, but maybe you don't want to date higher quality women.
No, it's not. It's not hard for me to hear, but like this idea that what do you think
What's
men
high
want?
quality?
What do you think men
Hookups.
want?
What kind of men? That's more important question.
Well, obviously.
Different men want different things.
No. I could tell you what men want.
Top tier men. What do you think top tier men want?
Top tier men want a woman who's respectable, who looks amazing, who doesn't have a high body count, who will be a great, devoted partner that he can lean on.
Okay, but so you're saying that the woman in this scenario, if she's on a dating app or whatever, the guy needs to look at something in her bio and like write a little quip. Now, I think if she's inclined to already be attracted to you, that'll set you apart from the guys who are just saying hi. Like, yes, if you can come up with something clever.
There's no effort with high.
If you can come up with something clever from her bio, yes, that is optimal. That is optimal. But I mean,
So
this is
I
just
get
like,
so many
okay,
DMs in
opening-
my in Instagram DMs, and I get like the ones that say hi or what are you doing or the same things are so boring, right, to read because
No
I get
effort.
so many. We could pull
But
up my
wait.
Instagram and you
However,
guys
let
can
me
see it.
propose.
But when they do say something that's actually more than 2 sentences and I actually read it, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll accept
Okay.
your request and answer
So,
back.
let me propose a scenario though. A really attractive guy just opens you with "Hey," versus
Yeah.
an average-looking guy who gives you the wittiest
The damn soliloquy.
fucking banter, blah blah blah, opener.
That guy wins.
For sure. Because,
witty.
no,
The good-looking
wins.
guy
no.
wins.
An average guy
all-
wins because
nope,
the cocky guy,
nope.
I'm not interested
Brian,
in.
you're
You know
right.
what? Wait. Stop.
slow.
When did I grant in the hypothetical that the guy was cocky?
Because you just wrote with high, so you think that's supposed to make a woman swoon just because he's
I
good
think
looking?
No,
I don't think that's cocky.
That wasn't.
I don't think that's
I don't think
cocky.
a hey
No, but you
is cocky.
I don't mind that.
Okay,
don't
so
think
what?
it is
So
either.
reframe
It
the
could be
question
shy.
again.
I
If
mean,
a good-looking
we
guy
can-
says hi versus an average guy
here,
who writes
let's map
an
this
essay,
on to the real world.
Okay, an essay's
A
not
really good-looking
necessary.
guy walks up to you, and he's like,
oh, I love
"Hi,
that.
I'm Todd."
Yeah, he's walking
or
right up to me.
You got an average guy who steps to you, and he like opens with like this really funny like.
Well,
Why do you think that though? Because you have a table full of
Here, pull
women
the
who are
jester.
telling you
Thank you,
what
James.
we want. Like you're
And
being.
some women agree with me.
but
they
we're-
agree with
I agree with
Who's
you.
agreeing with you right now?
I agree with you.
I agree.
I agree with you. And I've had this happen.
Tiffany,
A really
get the
attractive
jester.
guy will come up and just
Photo.
introduce himself, and if he's fine, hi, whatever your name is, and then we go from there.
If-
Now, if the average guy comes to me and he's all excited and extra, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's cute. Yeah. Get the fuck out my
Okay.
face.
No,
I really am, just because
Okay,
it's like
yes, you have to be attracted, I get
gotta be
that.
attracted to you.
Okay, but-
so if he's, I don't have a problem.
but if he
he's
comes at you
average
funny,
looking.
But we're
and he's
talking about-
But
average,
if he comes and
Yeah.
he makes me laugh,
that's the difference. That's what I'm
then
saying. The
I'm gonna
context
lean in and
is in the
laugh.
context.
There's many
Yes.
different ways
If a
of
man comes at me
attraction.
Exactly.
funny,
For a woman,
he can be
absolutely.
a 2.
That's
But if you
important.
come at me funny and you make me laugh,
That's
I'm going to
different.
leave. I'm going to fuck the guy who's a 10. Fuck you. You don't stand a chance with the guy who's a 2 and who's
Right.
funny as fuck.
Right.
I think
because a guy who
Here,
knows
I do
men
agree.
knows
Also
he can
agree
get
with
any
that,
girl.
though.
Tiffany, do you have
So I
the
do also
jester?
agree with that.
100%.
All right. So look, this is like dating for men, basically.
I
This
don't
is
want a
dating
court
for men,
jester.
and I think men need to reject this. Men need to reject. I'm going to be
Do
a
not
little
be a
dancing
court
monkey
jester.
for you. I'm going to like do all this shit. Men, we don't want to go ice skating. Okay, we don't want to go ice skating.
You should want to go ice
Fuck,
skating.
fuck that. Like
What if you're going ice skating with a beautiful
it's
woman?
look.
because he can't ice skate.
Like,
And look, I don't know. We don't want to do all this.
Well, yeah, you're
dancing.
lazy.
No, it's not about being lazy. It's about
Yeah, you just wanna sit
wanting
at
a
home on
woman
your
who
punk.
has this genuine interest in us.
Right.
The
Yeah,
moment-
but you still have to court her. You
No,
men
no, no.
still,
You do have
at
to
their
court.
core, should pursue, and a woman wants
y'all
to be
ain't
pursued.
ladies.
That
y'all
doesn't
are not
change.
ladies.
What?
Courtship is gone.
According
No,
to
it's
who?
not.
Reject courtship.
No.
Embrace,
Hell no.
Embrace.
Wait,
No.
since when has it been
Yes.
gone?
No.
if men
Chivalry
stop
is
being
dead. Hold on.
courted-
It's not.
Nope.
Chivalry is dead.
It's not.
No.
And
Says the
women
single
kill
guy
it.
who's
If men
37.
stop being
Chivalry, it should not be dead.
It should be
It
dead.
is not dead.
Nope.
There
It's
are
not
wonderful
dead. Nope.
men who are doing it well, and
Nope.
they're getting great women.
We're going to stop the simping for women. The pedestalization of women is fucking terrible. It's terrible for women. It's terrible for men. Look, to be clear, women should be treated respectfully. Women should be treated well. But you guys want an extra layer of privilege on top of that called chivalry, which is doing certain
What
things.
is chivalry to you? Yeah.
It's all kinds of things. It depends what exactly we're talking
Open
about.
my door,
but this
put
could
out
be
my
like
chair.
provider protector essentially to boil down.
my
Hold on.
shoe,
This would boil
my
down
cigarette.
and hold on. There's a Timby here. Let me play this, and we'll pop it once I'm done with the convo. One sec, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Champagne pop.
There's your $1,000 just 'cause.
Thank you, bro.
Wow.
Just 'cause.
You're a fucking legend.
Wow.
Yo,
A man can be chivalrous, and he doesn't have to be a multimillionaire. It's
Right.
not the amount of money that he has.
did I
He
make
has
that
to
argument?
No,
did
but
I say he has to be a multi?
But you were saying an extra level of provider, protector.
no,
so
no,
I'm
no.
assuming that's
You're
I wanna ask
misunderstanding.
you something
You're
so bad.
misunderstanding. What?
So you, correct me if I'm wrong, but you prefer like a submissive woman that's gonna like fold your laundry,
Sure.
cook you meals,
Yeah.
which would correspond with like older times, but you don't want to like play your role
Sure.
as a man and be chivalrous.
So I'll answer that. Hold on, that's not exactly. You're half right. So yes, I do prefer a traditional dynamic with a woman. I do prefer her to be submissive. So if I'm with a woman long term, she's never going to have to work. Everything's going to be taken care of. I'm paying all the bills, and
Should submit.
and I'm very decisive. I will lead that relationship. However, so there's a difference between like what in practice I do in my individual relationships and how I observe like the social and cultural landscape. So what I see is there are definitely traditional women out there. And by the way, like I feel like being traditional is it's not like a on-off switch, or it's not like completely black or white. Like I have premarital sex. So it's like, well, okay, Brian, you want to have sex with women before marriage. I don't want to get married. So that's going to like put me further away from like a very, very strict definition of like what we mean by traditional. But in terms of like the roles between myself and a woman, I'm going to be paying for everything. She's never going to have to, like, this is a girl who I'm with long term, right? And we have kids. She's never going to need a job. Everything's going to be taken care of. So there's that. Trying to think what the other component here is.
So you wouldn't say that's chivalrous?
Well, so
That's responsibility.
But what I'm saying is, I think that on an individual level, I can have components of chivalry, but I think you can be a provider in a relationship absent chivalry. Perhaps like you might frame that as chivalrous or whatever. I guess what I would say as it relates to this, though, I think when we're thinking of chivalry, I'm doing a sort of not just me, Brian, but like a sort of society-wide criticism of our. And I have criticisms of men. Are women holding up their traditional expectations? I would say, broadly speaking, no. Now, there are women who are traditional, but are women deserving of chivalry, broadly speaking, given the landscape in the United States? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Now, you might still get it. Like, you could be a stripper, a sex worker, a prostitute, and guys will still pay for your date and do those chivalrous things.
That's not chivalry.
It's part of chivalry. But from a bird's eye view down perspective, a bird's eye perspective, I look at what's going on. And it's like women are not traditional, but they expect men to be traditional. That's a raw deal for men. The women don't deserve it. They might still get it because when it comes to dating, men want to do the most optimal thing. So the most optimal thing is to like pay this debate over who should pay. The most optimum thing, even if she's a fucking leftist, libtard feminist, pay for the date, because even some of these feminist women, they're not about the 50-50, confusingly enough. So yes, the most optimum move is to pay for dates. Does the woman deserve it? Fuck no.
Well, that's why I would say don't take women to expensive dinners, especially on a first date. Just take them for coffee. I'm a realist.
They don't even deserve coffee.
Oh, shit.
Well, if you don't think a woman deserves
if
coffee,
the woman you're going
I
on with
think-
don't deserve coffee,
So
you
they
shouldn't
don't
date her
deserve
at all.
it to be paid for.
Will you like
What do you
open
deem
a door
undeserving?
for a woman?
Right.
Sure.
Okay, that's chivalry.
What do you deem
Pulling her chair
undeserving?
out. That's
No, but so
chivalry.
Opening the
we have
door.
to separate my behavior in the context of a relationship with a woman who meets my standards and who I've assessed does fall into a category of woman who I think is deserving of that sort of treatment, and what I see out there in terms of, let's say, how women, not all women, but a lot of women are moving. So let me ask you, do you think a sex worker deserves chivalry?
Well, if
She's a
not
woman.
if she's not coming as a sex worker on a date,
No, so she's she's an OnlyFans girl, but this is a genuine interest in dating this guy. Does she deserve chivalry?
yes.
Everyone.
There we go.
Absolutely.
You're
Chivalry.
feminist. You're not
Absolutely.
conservative.
What the hell?
Completely
What?
BTF.
No, I'm just decency towards women. I don't understand.
what decency? How is it?
Yeah.
Wait. I don't understand.
I don't. A woman's
It's more
a
like
woman. I
act
don't
like a
understand.
man.
It's just
Wait.
masculine
So
and feminine roles.
gender
Right.
roles for men, regardless of scenario, in all instances, regardless of, you don't think a woman needs to be
Okay,
emblematic.
What
of,
I will say, and I think this, and I tell this to women all the time. Women sometimes come with a sense of entitlement on dates. They don't even say thank you.
Yeah,
they
that's
have this
sad.
expectation that men should spend a fortune on dinner, and I think that's wrong.
It
and I
is.
think that does take advantage
Yeah.
of men, and it leaves a very
but
bad
you have an
taste.
expectation yourself.
Well, my
Everybody has
I have, of course, I have
expectations.
standards like everybody else.
But so you're
of course.
entitled then, is what you're
No,
saying.
when I was dating, my standards were if I'm interested enough in a man to give him my time, we can go for a 20-minute coffee date. And if I like him, it can extend. If he likes me, it can extend. But yes, I think an expectation of meaning for coffee where the man goes to her neck of the woods is not an unrealistic expectation.
That's not what we're debating here. So you're saying, look, I guess I agree with you in the part about like it's okay for women to want men to do these chivalrous acts or to be providers and protectors. The entitlement can definitely be an issue where a woman wants to make a big stink about it, and like preemptively have like some attitude or entitlement. Even a man who's inclined to be a provider, the entitlement component, even if he's 100% willing to do the behavior in which the woman wants, if she comes with an attitude and is entitled, that's an issue. But that's not what we're really talking about. Your position is, women, there's no standard for women. Women, you can act however you want,
I never said
and you
that.
still deserve the chivalry.
I literally
that was your
never said
point. That was literally what you said.
No, you said, does a sex worker deserve chivalry?
Which would be like the
What-
which would be the biggest manifestation of lacking of traditional values.
Does a
So?
pimp, does a
She's
pimp
still a
deserve
woman.
loyalty?
I don't understand. Does she just?
A man and a woman, say you have like true blue egalitarians. She's an egalitarian, he's an egalitarian. They're both polite, respectful people.
Okay.
The man does not pay on the date. That wouldn't be degradation.
No,
that wouldn't
no,
be
I would not
degrading.
say that's degradation. And that, if that works for them, that works
But
for
you,
them.
that was the implication of what you were saying.
Okay,
You were
most
saying-
women are going to choose
I
a
didn't
man that
really
pays.
understand what you were
Okay.
asking me. I thought you were asking me if a sex worker goes on a date, does she deserve chivalry? And my answer was yes.
Right, but so
But that doesn't mean
I
she
have a
should be,
counter
that if she's not. I'm
But
not saying.
hold on.
Okay.
You can be respectful and kind and
Yeah. That's to be
treat someone
chivalrous.
well.
Yeah.
Absent chivalry. Chivalry is another layer above that.
Okay, so you and I do not have a connection on what chivalry is because those things that you just mentioned
There's a
are
definition.
chivalrous.
Can I ask you a question? Here,
Define
here,
it for both of you.
I can.
Right.
I think I can parse this super easily.
Okay.
Can a woman be kind and respectful on a man, to a man on a date?
Of course, as she should.
Is she being chivalrous just by virtue of being
She's
kind?
being polite and respectful. I don't.
Right, so men can be polite and respectful to women absent chivalry.
Okay, so how are you defining chivalry?
So this would be like a one-directional treatment that women receive and men give. So this would be things like
Opening doors.
opening the car door, pulling her seat back to let her on,
Right, but these are traditionally masculine-
observing the sidewalk rule where you walk closer to
Yes,
the road,
okay.
paying for the date, being like sort of I don't know if leading necessarily falls under chivalry. That would be more just masculine gender role. So I'll move that away from chivalry. But yeah, paying for the date,
Can I
this
ask you
sort of
something?
thing. Sure.
Okay. In your 5-year relationship, the first 1 or 2 years, were you truly in love?
Was I truly in the first 1 year, 2 years?
For your first few years.
If that was yes, you would have answered yes already.
The answer is no.
Yeah,
Like, what is
yeah.
this have to do with the
100%.
subject?
The relationship.
What relevance does that have?
I don't know how it'd be relevant. How
Oh,
about this?
it's totally relevant.
How about this?
Because if
My
you were
most-
truly, let me just say, I've had the blessing of having men truly in love with me.
Okay.
And it comes naturally to a man to want to protect his woman, to want to make sure she's happy. It's not
That's not
a
chivalry.
measurement system. It's just innate for a man to want to be protector.
That's not chivalry.
Well, I don't.
Okay, but
yes,
what?
it
So
is.
okay, sure, I'll grant it.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grant whatever you're saying.
Let's just
What's your
get the
point?
definition of chivalry.
So I don't think I think if you truly experienced being in love with a woman,
I've been in love with
a
women.
lot of these things would come naturally.
Wait, hold on. I don't have an objection to me doing these specific actions related to chivalry or as you might categorize as chivalry with the woman I'm dating. I'm saying, as a social commentator, what I see on the dating landscape is I think women move in a certain way that is unbecoming of a lady.
I hear
and
you.
ladies or women who are not ladies do not deserve chivalry. Now, I'm not saying that if the woman, say she's a sex worker, does OnlyFans, or she's not traditional, you should still be respectful.
Right.
You should still treat her
That's what I'm
well.
saying.
You should still be respectful. You should still treat her well. That doesn't mean you get to abuse her, because no. However, these additional things that are associated with traditional gender roles, women need to uphold their traditional gender roles to, from my perspective, be deserving of the male traditional gender role treatment. Your position is women can do whatever they want,
No, it's
and
not.
men should still
I've
be
never
chivalrous.
said that, and I feel like
That's your
your
position.
blanket
That's not her
statements
position.
Okay,
actually
so
hurt
okay, great. So
everybody.
a woman, should a man pay for the date if he takes a sex worker out on the date?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
She's so
Everyone is
conservative.
agreeing
Yes.
with me.
I'm not.
And I'm
Are
going to
they?
tell
I
you
don't know if
why.
they are.
I'm going to tell you
say
why.
that
The reason.
sex work.
Please. May I?
I feel like there's
Please.
differences in sex work.
I want to say this. If a man chooses to ask a woman, whatever her profession is, sex worker, porn star, hooker, if he approaches her and asks for her time, he should pay for the date, period.
That's true.
He's pursuing her.
He's pursuing her.
Pursuing
Well,
her.
that's because it's by default, de facto, women, like
She can't-
99% of the time, don't initiate because much in the way my position
You don't
I'm
have
in, I don't have to, right? So women don't have to, so you get to pick among, like it's very easy and convenient to be the selector among the men who come to you. Now look, in some rare instances, women will shoot their shot, slide in a DM. I get that it rarely happens. 99% of like which direction the so-called initiative is going, 99% of the like cumulative initiative is men going in the direction of women. So, I mean, yeah, like it's very easy for you women to sit back and be like, have this criticism here. But like, if men didn't take initiative, we would literally, like, the species would die and we'd
Yeah.
all be virgins.
Right. That's
So-
biological reason.
Men-
Men are
Right.
hunters,
So-
women are
Right,
gatherers.
but so what I'm saying from like,
Biological rules.
but again, I'm looking at the dating landscape. Women are not upholding the
Not
social.
all women.
Not all women, but most women.
Not even most.
The social contract, the bargain of, I'm a traditional man. I'm fine with that. You should be a traditional woman. You're saying that
Yeah,
the
and
man
usually
should still
traditional
be,
men and women find each other because they
no, but
have
you want
alignment.
to
Yes, they have
extend
alignment with their values.
You want to extend male traditional gender roles that they should be done towards women who are not traditional.
And okay,
That's
you
your
brought
position.
up the
You
porn
said if a
star,
sex-
not
if a man
me.
did-
Well,
Yeah, I'm
it doesn't matter
talking
if I
about-
brought it up.
Okay,
You agreed with the
No,
statements.
you gave me a scenario, but
Which you are now backed
I am
into.
just saying the healthiest way for people to date is to date not just based on looks. The problem is people are so wired for red flags and they base so many things on looks that they are not wired for green flags. You don't seem to be wired for green flags. Everything
Oh my
on this
God,
show
bro.
is
It's
all
like-
about
hold on.
superficiality.
What
How am
makes
I?
it-
But hold on. How am I wired for? What are you talking about? How am I wired for
okay,
red flags?
okay.
What does that mean?
I meant you and I meant a lot of men in the way you're thinking because
How-
you already have such a. It seems to me. Okay, I'm not trying to do therapy on you, but you already have such a chip on your shoulder for women who don't deserve this and they don't
She's
deserve
already.
that.
Wait,
you
I
know?
have a chip on my shoulder. So again, she continues to smuggle in assertions.
I think he has preferences.
that aren't demonstrated. So I don't understand. What's the chip
Well,
on my shoulder?
you asked me for my hot takes. I'm giving you some hot takes.
But what's the chip on my shoulder? Explain it.
Well, when you say that men should not court women, that chivalry is dead, that
It is.
women don't deserve it, it sounds like there's a little bit.
Hold on. Most women don't deserve it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you
Most
switched to
women don't.
most and not all. That's
Can I
that's
ask you
a that's
what
a
woman
shift.
No, of
you
course,
think
some-
deserves it?
Yeah, it would be a woman who is traditional herself.
There you
Only
go.
traditional women
There you
deserve
go.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, here I'll make
I'm
it.
asking.
How do you
I'll make it
reply to your
hold on.
DMs?
I'll make it super simple. Traditional women deserve traditional men. Traditional men deserve traditional women. What
They-
should women do? Tell me
Okay,
what should women
so
do?
thank you. I would love to tell America this. When you are doing your dating profiles for men and women, the first picture should always be looking straight at the camera and smiling.
Aw, bless your
But
heart.
people who subliminally choose certain pictures, there's a whole psychology behind it. And if you are choosing pictures where you're with your sunglasses or posing or you're looking away,
Wait,
that's
this-
telling the
you're-
world
you're
you're
all over the
not
place.
honest. No,
Wait,
I'm
wait,
not all
wait.
over the place. It all connects.
So there's all kinds of things you can do to maximize your success on dating apps. We're not talking about that. I'm asking if we can say men should provide, men should pay on first dates, men should protect, men should do X, Y, Z, what are we allowed to say women should?
What women should do, they should not be entitled. They should not have an expectation of an expensive date. They should be responsive. They shouldn't play games. And they should also look like their pictures.
But these are kind of applies to men. Everything you listed also kind of applies to men. And also I'm a bit confused. So if women should not be entitled, then should they not be entitled to the man paying for the first date?
Well, if it's like I said, I think coffee is a reasonable expectation. I'm not saying a 3-course meal at a
I'm
restaurant.
gonna say that a man should absolutely pay the first date every single time.
Every
But this
time.
is
Wait, I
why.
have a question for you
But this is
guys.
why. Because this is the man that I'm going for, and this is the type of man that I want to lead. So this is the type of man that I specifically want to be with. And by him paying for that first date, for me, it says a lot. I'm also much more inclined to pay for that second date. And because for me,
okay.
what I'm building, what I like, what I prefer is a team.
A team. But he has to pay for the first date.
The first
Yes.
date,
It's totally contrary.
if you
first
go-
date,
not.
absolutely needs to pay for the first date.
So you're not
usually
looking for a
tip.
teammate. Team would be 50-50,
I mean down
right?
the line. Eventually, down the line. What I'm
Okay.
looking for, a partnership is teammate down the line. However,
Sure.
I'm specifically wanting to date these men
Tiffany
who
Champagne?
who are taking the initiative and showing and leading me, because these are the type of men that I specifically want to be with.
So
But I am
that's a traditional
okay
role.
paying for that second date. I am okay being like, yo, you can't pay the rent this month? I got it.
So I understand that. I understand that. So to be clear, let me clarify my position here.
Okay.
I understand that women who are who want men to pay for first dates, but say they're not traditional, which would be the case for you. I understand that you still want it. I understand that you probably still get it. That's not really what's being discussed here. What's being discussed is, do you deserve it?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, you might still get it. It's not just might. I'm sure you do
What
still
does
get it.
one have to do to deserve
Right.
a date being paid
Well, so
for?
the deserving would be, from my perspective, if we're going to hold men to a standard, a traditional gender role standard, we should also hold women to a traditional gender role standard. And it is the traditional women who deserve that kind of traditional treatment. Women want men to be 1950s
But how do you know
bachelors.
that on a first date? How do you
Hold
know
on.
if they're traditional?
I mean, you can vet somebody before going on the date, but women want 2026 modernity, gigafeminism for them. And you want men to be 1950s trad husbands, like in terms of their conduct and treatment of you. That seems unfair.
just want
You
this for
you
me.
want a 1950s-esque man who's going to provide and protect. You should be a 1950s-esque trad wife, trad woman. That's a fair proposition.
agree.
If that's what one is going for and that's what one wants, that's fine. That's not specifically what me personally wants.
So I agree with you. I agree that what you want is the guy to pay for the first date. There's no dispute there.
It's
my
very
contention
indicative of-
contention is if you deserve it. Okay. What about you? You raising your
I
hand?
think as women, like, we shouldn't expect for a man to pay for a date. Like, if I go on a first date, I'm always going to bring a form of payment. I'm always going to attempt at least to pay
I agree with
for my
that.
half. But I think most women, I mean, you're right, we do have like more power when it comes to like choosing men or whatever, and we're gonna choose men that pay for the first date.
Yep.
Like, if a man doesn't pay for the first date, that's, you know, you're deducting points mentally. Like,
Sure.
I'm fine paying my half for a first date, but like, I'm gonna choose a man that
Pays for the day.